Hey guys, welcome back to Thorough Capping. It's Dave. What I wanted to do is I wanted to not only give you a recap of Saratoga from today, but I also wanted to do a recap of all the sheets that I have on here using the TC rating that I still have here. Unfortunately, I did dispose of a few, not thinking that I was going to do what I'm doing right now, and it was really just only one card. It was Woodbine, and there is a Woodbine recap video on there. But the rest of them here, since July 10th is when I started keeping track of the thorough capping, shifting over to using the ratings, the ratings grid instead of the other grids. And what I have a total of 48 races that are done so far. And if you were to take the top 4 TC ratings, which I know would not be good handicapping or good betting advice, which I wouldn't do anyway, but just hypothetically, if you were to take top 4 out of them 48 races and bet $2 to win on them 4, you're looking at $384 total in wagers. 48 times 8, 2468. What you're looking at here is this list of the winners out of them. Out of the 48 races, playing the top 4 for $2 produced 39 winners out of the 48 races. Now, I know that's not the statistic that you're looking for. It's not about how many winners, it's about ROI. But if you go and look at 384 wagers, and when you do the math, out of all these winners, you're getting a return of $339.30. Now, that's a negative ROI. But at the same time, if you're betting smartly and wisely, you're not going to be playing horses that are paying $3.40, or you shouldn't be playing $3.40, $3.70, and also playing 3 other horses in that race as well. If you really like a horse that's going to pay $3.40, a dead favorite, chances are you're probably playing that horse only and probably putting maybe $10 on that horse. Okay, you're not playing $2 on that horse or $5 or whatever, however many units you're using on all 4 of them. If anything, you're looking for value and you're going to try to beat that horse. So at the same time, the horses that you see that are in beige right now are the horses that were 7-2 and below. Okay, so if you use 7-2 as your target, whether to play or not, what you're doing is you're cutting some of these horses down. You're probably going to see in a lot of these races that 2 of the 4 choices in the blue are probably going to be 7-2 or less. You're probably looking at maybe first choice, second choice, which is going to allow you to get away with playing only $4 or 4 units per race rather than 8 units per race. 2, 2, 2, and 2. And you're looking here at the horses that have met that 7-2 or more, and you're seeing what they're paying here. Okay. When you do I didn't do the math for that, but what I'm getting at is, most likely, if you were to cut down on putting anything on the 9-5s, the 4-5s, even the horses that are going off at 5-2 or 2-1, if you were to stay away from them and play the horses that you want to set a target for, like a 7-2, personally, I like to play 5-1 or better. Because I'm a $3 or a $5 win better. I'm not a $50 win better. So I'm looking to play either $3 or $5. And what determines whether I play 3 or 5 is determined by what else am I playing in that race. Am I playing a superfecta that's costing me $7? Am I playing also a 50-cent try that's costing me $6? That's already $13 spent on that race. I like to stay underneath the 20 per race, so what I would do is I would maybe play $5. But if I had an exacta on that, on top of that, that might have cost me $4 or $6. Now I'm going to probably play $3 to win on the horse with value that's presenting the best value for me. But I just wanted to give you an idea. If you were to play all 4 right now, 39 winners out of the 48 races were found in the top 4 TC ratings, and $384 spent returned $339. When you do the math on that, that's coming out to a .88 or 80, yeah, .88 ROI. Which again, if you're not betting the chalk and you're leaving the horses out that's below your target odds, that number is going to be higher. All right. So that was just pretty much I wanted to revisit some of these old charts in some manner. Now I could have went further. I didn't feel like spending my time looking for if you were bet to win place. There's a lot of different angles you could follow here to figure out the best ROI. I could have looked back at each race and saw on July 10th what were the odds on these 4 horses, but I could probably be here till next week doing 48 races looking at that. But at the same time, I'm just kind of speculating right now. Now, if I go down to today's Saratoga, let's look at what we got result-wise. Race number 2, we skipped race 1 because that was the maiden special weight. I skipped it on the video. I did not skip it on the betting it because I did look at some patterns and there was a couple horses that I liked, and I happened to get a actually a $5 win play on the winner who went off at 14-1. And viewer Clinton and I talked about this on the Discord, and he was also a fan of the 3 horse as well in that first race, and we were both able to connect on that. Now, race number 2, however, we got a $20 horse in race 2. The 7 horse was not tops in the TC rating, but we had it as 8417, and I gave it to the 8 simply because of the what's showing up down here. Sorry guys, I had to get a phone call there. Going back to this race, the 7 horse did win the race, paid $20.20. The 8 horse, I have to make a correction here. The 8 horse was brought to my attention once again by subscriber Clinton, and his comment was exactly this. It said, you may want to take a look at 2 races back on the 8 horse, because I had this 8 horse tossed originally, and I want to look at this horse real fast. This was race number 2, and I originally tossed this 8 because I was looking at the last race out, and his race before that was in September of 22. So what I did was I looked at the fact 5.5 furlongs. Last race out didn't look good. Larger field, looking to eliminate a horse. I eliminated, but when I did go back to 22, and the other reason why I didn't go back originally was I looked at the trainer stats, 90 plus days away, layoff 11%, and I know that's not a great sample size, but it really, really pointed me in the direction of tossing rather than keeping. And it was great advice because keeping that horse did come in second. It came out 7, 8, 3, 4, and the 7 horse paid $20.20 to win. All right, so well done, Clinton. Number 3, race 3, we had a 21.60 winner in race 3 on the 9 horse. The 9 horse figured as our second, up in the way that I ranked him at least. He was our ability horse. He won the race. He paid $21.60. Second, we didn't get the exact in that race. Second place, the 3 horse. The 4 horse. The fourth race, I'm sorry. Fourth race was won by a horse that we did not have. The 2 horse at 82.2. Won the 4th. Race number 5, we had a chalky winner, 460. The 7 horse, however, it did point us in the right direction. I did mention on the video that this may be a good single for a multi-wager. Number 6, we got beat by a tossed horse. Okay, the 9 horse in race number 6, and this was a maiden race. I had tossed the 9, second time out. His running line didn't look very good. I did miss on the qualitative scan, 26% off a layoff. Second career race, 25%. So, I mean, that could have been my fault. I don't know if that would have been enough for me to include this horse, because I would have had to draw figures off of this race here, and I wouldn't have been able. And then here's another thing right here. We have this horse was coming out of a key race. Granted, it was back in October of 22, so we got a key race here. So I actually tossed this horse before I had a chance to really look at this. But again, I don't know if this isn't enough information to really give me a rating. So, you know, I live and die. If I'm using this method here, I live and die by what the ratings tell me, and not so much simply with the quality. Now, if you're handicapping that race and looking simply at qualitative information, you may very well indeed have that horse. Okay, race number 7. The 5 horse wins the race. He was the second choice in the race and pays $7.50. Okay, he was 5-2. I think the 7 horse in that race was 9-5, and it did come out 5-7. Race number 8 was won by another horse that I had said might be a good single. Okay, paid $3.80, dead favorite. Race number 9, we had another winner, the 3 horse. 3 horse on top here, ranked second in rating, ranked number 1 simply because of it's my target, and he also shows up over here. I paid $11, 9-2 winner. Race number 10 was the race that I was probably most happy about. I talked about it yesterday. I had talked about looking to beat, where is it at? Looking to beat the heavy favorite, Drew's Gold, with New York Thunder. And sure enough, New York Thunder pulls it out. In fact, the 4 horse ended up getting second. But the 6 horse did win the race. My grid on the left side told me that this is the horse to use, and also the top TC rating. And I paid $13. Now, my biggest disappointment on the day, let me show you here. Let me find. Here's my biggest disappointment on the day. I was alive from race 7 to the finale in both the pick 5. I singled the 5 in race 7 on a $24 ticket. I was alive to some, for me, balloon payouts. And I was also alive to the 2 and the 10 in the pick 4 as well. And that race was to finish off the day, that race was a maiden special, or a maiden claimer, 40,000. And there was a full field. 12 horses ran, and I ended up getting beat by the 3 here with Joel Rosario. Not running since August of 22. Not showing me anything on a mile 16th on the turf. He had a 5.5 turf run. So again, this would be a horse that somebody who was looking at pedigree or was able to dig deeper in outside of these numbers here would probably come up with, or somebody who's playing just a bunch of horses, which I probably should have done. I mean, I used the 2, and I started to handicap this race. I did not put this race on the grid, but I started to handicap this race with the factors. I used the 2, the 10, because of the turf experience at a route distance. I used the 11 as well as my long shot play. Looking at this last out, in a good 3/4 of the race, and this one would have paid $8,000 if this would have came in. And then I used the 7 as well. Of course, when I need Irad and Pletcher, they don't come through for me. But I played them because of the turf experience as well. And the race was won by the 3 horse, and the 3 horse went off at 7-1. So that was my biggest disappointment on the day, was not getting these pick 4 and the pick 5 home. But you can't win them all. I'm going to look at Del Mar for tomorrow. I know there are at least 2 maiden special 2-year-olds that I don't like. Maybe somebody could chime in. Clinton, maybe you could chime in with your opinion on the maiden special weight races tomorrow with the 2-year-olds. A lot of first-time starters at Del Mar. But I'm going to focus on the races that I feel are playable races, and hopefully be able to put up a video tonight. All right, talk to you soon. Thank you.